Hello, welcome to another radio and television station, and I'm Cao. Here comes the local news. On July 11th, the 13th session of Standing Committee of the National Assembly of the Vietnam opened. Right after the opening ceremony, the Standing Committee of the National Assembly considered the government report on the policy of changing the purpose of using forest land, and rice land from two or more crops in the project, building the North-South Highway in the East in the period of 2021 to 2025. With 100% of members of the Standing Committee of the National Assembly voting in favor, the Standing Committee of the National Assembly approved the government's proposal to change the purpose of using more than 1,000 hectares of forest, more than 1,800 hectares of forestry land, and more than 1,500 hectares of rice land from two or more crops to make the North-South Highway in the East in the period of 2021-2025. The Standing Committee of the National Assembly assigns the government to direct the People's Committee of Provinces with projects in the process of land acquisition and change of land use purposes for project implementation to make accurate statistics and tally on land type, land area, property on land, forest type, and forest area. At the same time, the provinces must monitor the proper collection within the scope of land use purpose change. On July 11th, the Standing Committee of the Map Province worked with the Civil Affairs Committee of the Provincial People's Committee on the Provincial Competitiveness Index in 2021. Comrade Nguyễn Hồng Lĩnh, Secretary of Provincial Party Committee, presided over the meeting. Speaking at the conference, Secretary of Provincial Party Committee Nguyễn Hồng Lĩnh requested that within 1 month, leaders of departments and localities in the province must develop programs and plans for administrative reform to show the political determination of the head to send to the Civil Affairs Committee of Provincial People's Committee. This is also a regular important work which must be included in the monthly work briefing content of local departments. Results of implementing administrative reforms are also one of the contents to consider in assessing the level of annual task completion of departments, localities, as well as heads. Deputy Prime Minister Lê Văn Thành recently saw a decision approving the program on conservation and development of Vietnamese craft villages in the period of 2021 to 2030. The objectives of the program are to preserve and develop Vietnamese occupation and craft villages, promote production development, improve competitiveness, and add value for craft villages products, create jobs, increase income for people. The program aims to strive to restore and preserve at least 129 traditional occupations and 208 traditional villages at risk of disappearing by 2030. New recognition of 213 occupations and 96 traditional villages, develop about 301 craft villages associated with tourism. More than 80% of craft villages and traditional craft villages operate effectively. Speaking at the start of a 4-day visit to the United States, Australian Deputy Prime Minister and Defense Minister Richard Marles reaffirmed the importance of the alliance with the United States and pledged to strengthen its militaries to increase deterrence in Indo-Pacific. Speaking at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, Mr. Marles emphasized that the U.S. is Australia's most important partner and reaffirmed the U.S.-Australia alliance as the cornerstone of Canberra's foreign and security policy. Mr. Marles said, "We will make the necessary investment to increase the range and anti-personnel of the Australian military to be able to remotely deter potential rival forces and infrastructure at risk to Australia." According to Mr. Marles, Canberra will propose specific measures that the U.S. and Australia could take to strengthen cooperation. The Kremlin said on July 11th, the Russian President Vladimir Putin and Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan had a phone call. The Kremlin said the two leaders discussed preparation for a bilateral summit scheduled to take place in the near future. During the phone call, the two leaders also exchanged views on the situation in Ukraine, including efforts to ensure maritime safety in the Black Sea and export grain to a global market. In addition, the two sides also emphasized the importance of trilateral meetings, including Iran, as well as deployment of troops in Syria. That's all for today. Thanks for watching and goodbye.